Hello again. Another week of development has gone by with some extra exciting features to share with you. Firstly, last week we had our playtest of the game and I was given a lot of feedback. All that feedback was compiled and added to the Trello board as tasks for me to complete. In addition, a patch has been given for the game for stability, so if you'd like to playtest, please let me know in the comments below. Moving on to the new things that I have worked on this week. First up is the IRC chat. When you run the IRC command, you will be connected to chat.com. where other players will be able to talk with you and share information. In addition to this, you can host your own IRC server if you'd like. A reason would be something like you want to have your own group and you share information with. So you would set up an IRC server on your machine and give your group members the IP. This could be done through email or global IRC chat, so whatever you decide. Don't overlook this tool of instant communication because it can be very valuable to you. There has been a lot of additions to the networking of this game, so let's start small. You can now specify the port to connect to when navigating to a website or running curl. This is useful if you need to view a web page through a tunnel, for instance, or the web page is hosted on a random port. This is another use of tunneling and keeping you safe, especially if you're viewing a website of another player and they're listening on their traffic. In that example, if you don't have a tunnel, they would capture your connection and potentially throw exploits at your IP. Speaking of websites, you can now download files from them. Any link tag that has the type of download and a valid file location in the var www folder will be downloaded to the root downloads upon being clicked. This is useful if you want to host files on a web server instead of using an FTP server, for example. You can now change the appearance of your terminals using the appearance command. The two types of appearance that can be changed are font and color. Color will change the color of the text in the terminal, while the font can be used to change the font that is displayed in the terminal. This is useful if you need to keep track of where your terminals are connected. You can make red your target machine, blue your machine you're redirecting from or tunneling from, and green any terminals that are used locally. Another quality of life improvement is that you can use the up and down arrows to rerun commands that are in your history. Keep in mind at the current state of the game, you can now rerun terminal built-in commands. This feature makes it easy to fix a previous mistake that you've made by pressing the up arrow, fixing that mistake, and rerunning the command. Unfortunately, I have to make the game more fair, and so programs now have versions associated with them. This will make a program that has a higher version number than an exploit immune to that exploit. I did this so that players can have some time to sit safely and get money if they need to without worrying about being hacked. A life cycle has been implemented to keep the game enjoyable. I found that in the hacking multiplayer games I've played, players can be completely safe all of the time if they follow a set of rules or a meta, if you will. This kills a game's potential since the most exciting thing you'll experience in games like this is hacking another player or getting revenge if you've been hacked yourself. So to introduce you to the life cycle here, this is how it will go. The game will start out with an exploit version that matches the program version the exploit is meant to be used against. In 24 to 45 minutes, it's on random, an update for that program will come out. Sort of like a 0-day patch system. And players will have the opportunity to patch their own versions of the program that will be running. You can do this via the package update and then whatever program you're using. After 34 hours, another 0-day will come out to repeat the cycle. That makes it so that even if a player is immune to an exploit and they're not careful, a player that's more proactive and has a player's IP on their radar can take action against that player. But that being said, the other player still has to find you, and if they found you, you messed up somewhere in some way. So even if 0 days come out and you've kept up with reducing your footprint, you will be safe. In order to get these new exploits, you'll need to be part of a hacking gang. Although they are very new and still in development, they will receive a new 0 day when it comes out. You have to be at a certain reputation level in order to join these gangs. To compile the exploit, you'll need to run exploit compile against the source code. This will open a minigame where you need to move the blocks to the correct color to build your new exploit. When you're done, you can use this new exploit against the target machine. Lastly, our biggest update to networking has arrived. Firewalls are now implemented in the game. Firewalls act just like real-world firewalls, where they will accept or deny traffic. This is useful if you want to keep unwanted connections out of your network or only allow specific connections to another network. This tool is just as important in keeping you safe as tunneling. Properly written firewall rules will prevent exploits, unwanted SSH connections, FTP connections, so on and so on. So please look into this tool and how to properly write rules. This could be the last line of defense against an attack. That's all I have for you this week. I will have more to show you next week, so stay tuned.